Welcome back to another week of the Black Gay Agenda. I want to thank everybody who tuned in to our season premiere. Y'all gave us the biggest first week numbers that we've had, so we appreciate y'all. Continue to like, continue to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you leave a rating and review because when you leave a rating and review, that helps us push out into the algorithm. I'm here with my wonderful, wonderful co-host.
Justin B. Smith. Hey y'all.
And your boy Alex, as usual.
Okay. And listen, we have an amazing, amazing, amazing guest host. Ryan is not here today. Ryan Lewis is, where is he at? What country is he in right now?
He's in Bahamas right now.
Okay. Yeah, he's in the Bahamas. So like Ryan's out here moving around doing his thing. So we all love that, right? So I have a wonderful guest today. Someone who I connected with online some time ago. Entrepreneur, fashion icon, a barb.
Yeah.
Listen, this man he cooks down. This man cooks down, and he's always cooking like he's cooking for like 1,000 people. If you look at his stories, it'd be
My
like,
men.
there you go. Yo, who?
My men.
His men. And the owner, and I talk about the brand all the time here on the podcast. The owner and creative director for an amazing, amazing brand called Very Butch. Slayter, welcome to the Black Gay Agenda.
Oh! Thank you so much. What's up, guys?
Not much. How you feeling? How was your how's your weekend? How's your year starting off?
It's starting off really good. It's been Ramadan. I haven't been eating, fucking, any of that. So I'm just here, and it's about to be Eid, and I'm ready to get into it with the boys and push the Black Gay Agenda.
We love it. We love it. We love it.
We know that's right.
All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I am first of all, y'all listening. Didn't Justin just do an amazing, amazing job last week being the moderator? One thing that I'm doing here, full transparency to all of our fans and listeners of the show. There's gonna be a day where I'm not on this anymore because I want to step into the producer role. So right now I'm really working on making sure the team is good because the Black Gay Agenda is not going anywhere. All right, we're not going anywhere. We're just getting started. With that being said, Justin, I'm gonna go ahead and toss this mic over to you and let you do what it do.
Thank you for tossing that right to me. I'm gonna jump right on it. No pun intended. But
bounce on that shit.
Okay, but no, for real. Slayter, it's such a not too much, y'all. Slayter, it's honestly a privilege to have you here. And this is the creative agenda, and I'm like, you know what? Like, this is very fitting that you're here. So, with that being said, y'all, we're all creatives here, right?
Right.
First question is, so what's your I'm sorry, y'all. What's your roles as a creative and like how long have y'all like been creatives for?
My role as a creative is just to like kind of imagine these things and see it from like the plotting, the planning, the ideation to completion. And like there's a lot of steps and just figuring it out along the way because it could be tough, but it doesn't have to be tough. It just takes like vitriol and like just actual trying. So that's what that is for me. I want to see completion.
Yes, and you said you're a CEO and a creative director, right?
I'm just a creative director. I'm just doing things, throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks, and then moving, sticking and moving. It's my favorite thing to do.
Before we go on, Justin, I do want to ask Slayter to kind of let us know, and then we'll get back to our answers, but kind of let us know, how did Very Butch come about? Like, how did it start? When did it start? How did we get to, it being a thing?
So it started. So I'm in like an ideas bitch. Like I have a lot of stuff going on. I have ADHD and I'm always thinking of different things. And like, I'm also not like a bitch who can have like a job. It never works for me. I tried, I want to do the flight attendant thing. it doesn't work. They want like this free, it just doesn't work for me. So I have to like create ways. And so I used to like vlog and do YouTube videos and everything. And that was cool while it was cool until it wasn't. And I was like, I have to come up with something and like build a brand that is not so personal, because I don't want like my lifestyle or my livelihood to be dependent on whether or not you get into me. So I was like, what do I love? Yeah, I love Black people, I love gay people, and like I love clothes. And how can I make this a thing that is important to us? And also keep in mind, like not even keep in mind, but focus on visibility. Like I don't want to do an underwear. Everyone's doing the underwear, and it's great because we all need underwear, but also like I don't see everybody's underwear. I don't want to do a
Right.
t-shirt. I think that's cheap. And I love these hats. I was like, let me make a hat. Well, it started off as like do-rags, and I was like, okay, I'm like dragging it. That's not like universal enough. Let's do the hat. And I can't get the whole process, but through trial and error, we came up with me and all 14 of my personalities, and we did it. And we used the last of the PPP, and we just did the thing. And now we're doing it, and we're seeing it in practicum. Like you go to the club, you're seeing it. It's so exciting because I'm always like, oh, how did you hear about it? Because it's not personal. And now I can, how did you hear about it? Was it a festival? Was it the internet? Like who was the influencer? Did you just see it from Twitter? And I get like unbiased opinions, and I want to know everything. Like, what do you think about it? Like, what's this and what's that? And it doesn't always seem like it's a big thing because we're focused on like one product or two right now. But being able to have like your panel or get the unsolicited opinions or advice from everyone is like good, because again, it's not personal. And I get to pay
Exactly.
my bills, because I don't like to work.
Exactly. And honestly, I admire that so much, Slater, because you said something that really like resonated. How you mentioned that you used the rest of the PPP loan period, but you took that risk. You took that risk, and you believed in yourself, and you saw a vision for yourself, and you made that shit happen. Period.
That's right.
Yeah, you made it
And
happen.
I did it legally. I did it
Yes.
legally.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Say it again for the people in the back.
I did it the right way.
Yes. I love that. I love that. So I know we have Alex, myself, and Micah.
Yep.
What do you feel? What do you land at in the creative world? And what role do you play?
What role do I play?
Mm-hmm.
That's quite the question. I would say that, and I don't even know if it's like a creative term or whatever, right? But I would say that I consider myself almost like an architect, right? I like to build shit. You feel me? It started off with the clothing line way back well, honestly, my entrepreneurship and I've been creative my whole life. High school, I was in plays and shit, musicals, show choir, woo 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 woo. So like I've been a creative my whole life. Did photography, did videography, like I've done all of that. But eventually it turned into something else. I started a clothing line. For those of the people who know me, King's Rise Clothing. We were doing the basic stuff, the shirts, the hoodies, the whoop whoop whoop. That I mean I get bored easily. So we'll say that. I get bored easily. So like that became boring for me. So then I was like, okay, let me add something to this. And I started doing fashion shows. That's actually how I met Alex. I started producing fashion shows. So I produced 3 shows. The first fashion show, the last fashion show that I did was all King's Rise. But the prior fashion shows to that, I was just in a production role and I was producing. So getting different designers, different stylists, all of that, bringing them in, curating a show, right? Not just a show, but curating experiences, because that's what I like to do. Curate experiences. So we had choirs, we had dancers, we had live entertainment. All of that was a part of the fashion shows. And then I came up with this thing. I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? Like these clothes mean they're just more they mean so much more than just being clothes. It's the statements and it's the messages. So I said, let me go ahead and start developing something that we can take these conversations, right, and make them into something. Because I always said that the clothes were a conversation starter. So then that evolved into during the pandemic, I started a little monthly web series, not even a web series, but like an IG live series called
Mm-hmm.
Conversations for the Culture. And we talked about different issues within the Black community. And then I'm like, yo, we're on to something. So then in January of 2022, we went ahead and launched Convos for the Culture podcast. And like I said, I'm a builder, and I'm also, some people might say like I'm a bit of a workaholic, right? So that first season, I want to say I pushed out that first season like 50 plus episodes in that first season, which is
Wow.
yeah,
That's
right.
unheard of. That's
which
unheard
is
of. That's
which
really
is
unheard of.
unheard of. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pushing out like episodes twice a week. Um so yeah, so then eventually I'm like, you know what? I want this thing to be built, I want to continue to build this thing. I want this to be bigger than what it already is. So then that's when I said, I'm going to make Convos for the Culture an actual media platform. So then I went ahead, got the LLC, we branded it. We have it as a media platform now. Through this, the R&B rundown was birthed out. Through this, um, these damn emojis. Okay. Through this, the R&B rundown was birthed out. Through this, we also went ahead and we pushed out the Black Gay Agenda. And I'm currently working on a couple of other projects right now. And that's why I said earlier in the show that I'm going to go ahead and, be taking a step back at some point to just fill in as a producer. I'll come in every once in a while, like Shawnee O'Neal does on Basketball Wives. But
Okay.
yeah, Shawnee. But yeah, I see it like a lot of times I see something bigger. I see where most people come in at the ground, the ground level. I'm already seeing when that skyscraper is there. I'm already seeing what it can be. So
So would you
that's what I
say
would
you're
say.
a visionary?
Builder, visionary, you can use all of those words and
Yeah,
interchangeably. I want
yeah,
to be able to leave behind something that when I'm long and gone, I want there to be a digital footprint of all of the work and all the conversations and all of the all of the things. Because even with this platform alone, we've had people reach out to me and be like, "Hey, when y'all did the coming out agenda, it really helped me on my journey of coming out. I just came out to
hmm
my parents. Hey, the Black mental health agenda, it really pushed me to go ahead and sit on somebody's couch." So like that's
right.
what I always want to do. I want to create, but I also want to create in a way that is actually impacting people's lives.
And you are like, and just hearing you speak right now, you just remind me of one word came to my mind. Like you're a cultural curator, and
Mm.
your message translate through production, media, and fashion in a sense. And I feel like even since the time I know you and I met you through social media, I feel like your message translated through everything that you do. So you are on the right path. Like it is beautiful to be a part of this. So just had to let you know
Gratitude.
that.
Gratitude.
And Alex,
So, I do want to. I want to go to back to what Micah's thing. Is that what Justin said? Definitely, your message goes through. It's the vein that's through all of everything that you do, right? Even with King's Rise clothing line, like everything that was on those clothes was what you represent. So, like that
right?
theme definitely stays true. But as far as for me, I'm a little different. There was a theme that we all had though, and there's one thing that I noticed that we bore easily. Creatives bore easily.
Mm.
We're
hmm
ready to move on to the next thing and do it. But I am different. I would probably call myself, I'm one of those jack of all trades, master of none people that I just drop stuff and be like, I've had my time with that. I want to do something else. Or I'll keep adding, like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do that.
hmm
So for me, I've always done something, right? Like just like Micah said, like with me, I grew up singing. I was singing in church. Then it kind of resonated to I was doing like R&B sets. Most of the creative things that I did was for me because it gave me joy, right? Like it made me happy. I liked the things and enjoy what I was doing. So um I think this is probably the first platform where I've done it with the intent of involving, with the community wise, other than like, of course, church, right? When you sing in church, but this type of environment. But I've modeled, which is where I met Micah. which I currently do now. Actually, well, I'm saying but I currently
Right.
I'm always saying. So you might catch a video of me singing somewhere. I am just I don't know. I just want to do a lot of different things. Like I enjoy in the podcast. I am a natural leader. So anything that I like get my hands on, I start to work. And I think that's the thing with me too. I'm a creative, but I'm also a worker bee. So with my creative, I also attach to other creatives because I can attach to the vision. I can see it. I love it because it's creative and I want to help it work out. So I wind up being attached as well. So that's kind of, and when I think of, and the only reason why I said it is because I thought a role. When you said what your role is, it made me immediately have a moment to reflect, like, what is my role? I feel like I am that, worker bee that links up with the other creatives and make sure to see that vision come to pass. Like, you know what I mean? Like doing that. The other thing I want to say too is that what I love about what we're doing now is that it does actually allow me to still be selfish. Remember I said it's for me. A lot of this it helps me too. Like I don't know if us on the cast, like when we're having these conversations, like we're talking to each other, we're gleaning from each other. Yes, people are hearing it, but it's also helping us. It's also letting us see other perspectives and things like that. So that's what I love about being able to be a creative, but also learn at the same time. So I don't even know if that fit with what we're talking about, but that's what I had said. So
me
No, yeah, it fits perfectly. Like I feel like even by the way you speak power into creatives, and you being a creative yourself from modeling, singing, I feel like it all like combines together. So I mean, you're very much creative to me. I ain't gonna be too long, but I am I am a multi-published fashion model. I am a performer. I am a public speaker. I am a dancer, entrepreneur, social media marketing. I feel like I live 5 lives, and I feel like I'm on my 5th life right now. But being creative has always been a part of my life. Like ever since I was like 5 years old, I grew up dancing, choreographing routines, actually performing in front of stars. Um, Yeah, I feel like I just do a lot, actually. I do a lot, and I feel like it's slipping my mind right now. But however, with the creativity that I do, I feel like I'm on this path now, where I want to use my creative mediums to help like instill anti-racist policies for people of color, specifically for Black people and Black queer people. I feel like I kind of I categorize myself as only a creative of my whole life, but I'm also an intellect. I'm also someone who's passionate for people, and I just like to combine all those things into my creativity. So that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about my role. I feel like I'm a conscious cultivator of creativity. If
the
if you, I
multi-hyphenated
mean,
king.
exactly.
that's
So
so
yeah,
cool.
it's right. Okay, period. And speaking of creativity, and we all have these moments, those moments where we feel like because as creators we have to follow trends on social media, and following these trends on social media doesn't really resonate with us. So can you all give me like a time where like you felt like you had to go with the trend even though it wasn't for you, or even if y'all did it before? The
I
floor is
said,
open.
okay. I said,
The
what
floor
are
is
we doing?
open.
Follow trends. You got to set the tone, and you have to like curate your own voice. Like I feel like we're all just figments of each other's imagination, and it's like however I want to digitally package myself and give it to you is how I'm going to do that. And you can't
Right.
do that or see where you want to be, who you used to be, who you want to be, like if you're following the trends. And it doesn't last. It's like you don't want to do like what's in fashion. You want to do like what's in style and really know like your own unique footprint or like fingerprint and just like do that, because you can build from that. You don't want to chase anything.
Mhm.
I don't do the trends.
Okay. That was very well said. That was very well
I
said.
like that.
And
That was
even
good.
Mhm.
right.
You was gonna say something, Justin? You said and
Yeah,
even.
I was going to say that, like, even with Very Butch, I feel like even that term itself is so ingrained in gay culture that, like, it's never going to leave. So even with, like, and also too, it's very empowering because oftentimes, like, I feel like people hear certain terms and they think negative of it. And I love how you just redefining it with your brand. So
Mhm.
that makes sense. I mean, look at your brand. Come
We
on
want to
now.
empower ourselves. Like, I'm a butch queen.
Yes.
I'm a fat. I'm one of the girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I reclaim that. I reclaim my time, and like, it's like if somebody was like, "Oh yeah, girl, like you a blue beanie, dread having, crystal neck ass bit." Yeah, I am.
I am.
You like it,
That I am.
and I like it. So what are we talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I feel like, with social media, because trends are, even within the day age that we're in now, trends are constant. There's so many trends to follow. But I do feel like people who are authentic and who they are and has a passion and has a message that they want to convey, they're gonna always go against the grain. So like for myself, I I'm trying to think of a time where I went with the trend. I feel like the only time I probably go with the trend if I'm doing a TikTok dance. But when it comes to like my self-expression, when it comes to with who I present myself on social media, when it comes to like me being real, because I'm an open book and I own my shit. So like anybody that try to tell you tea about me, they can't tell you the tea because baby already told y'all the tea. So
Mhm.
with that being said, I always try to follow, how can I say, trying to find a quote that could describe my path. I follow the own beat of my own drum, and I allow other people to hear the sound and follow suit when they're ready. But I'm always going to follow the beat of my own drum. So that's how I look at it. I don't really associate myself with trends, to be honest.
I think so. Like, I think there's like the caveat to is I don't mind trends, like if it's blanketed and if it makes us, if it like brings community. So, for example,
Right.
Mhm.
like I'm up here in New York. We had the earthquake. I love shit like that. Now we all talking about the earthquake, and
Yes.
we all can see like we're actually all the same. Like we're all
Yes.
so different, but like now we have something to talk about for the next 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened to all of us, and it just makes us a lot like closer and more like than unalike, if you understand. Like even
That's
like the
real.
ice
Yeah.
bucket challenge and things like that. It just is like, okay, yeah, we're still human. We're
Mm-hmm.
everybody's so different, but also we're not. And I like that too.
Exactly. Yes. And that connectedness and community go hand in hand. So I'm
Mhm.
with you with that. That makes a lot of sense. Fellas.
Trends. Yeah, trends. Trends are a funny thing because it's something that I constantly and consistently kind of go back and forth with, especially in the media space.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look at platforms like Hollywood Unlocked, the Neighborhood Talk.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Oh, the Shade Room, and
Mm-hmm.
they're super duper popular. They grow fast and all those things, like huge platforms. And I respect what they've built. And it would
Mm-hmm.
be easy for me. It would be so easy for me. Like I've grown Convos for the Culture. I think our Instagram is like 6K, right?
Mhm.
Uh, I've grown it. I feel like I could grow faster if I follow the trends. What are the trends? Be messy, be super problematic. You feel me? And like just push that. Granted, we report on the different news and everything, but we don't do it in the same manner that some of those others do. And that's something that I've had to kind of go back and forth with because I'm like, yo, if I was just like super messy and I posted this content like this and only showed you shit about like Blueface and Krishan Rock and only showed you
Oh,
like the
brother.
negative shit, we would go crazy because one thing that I've noticed is anytime I post mess, numbers go like crazy, 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 right? But then we post other stuff that's uplifting, that's supporting Black women, that's speaking out against SA and domestic violence and like all these different things. It's like crickets. But sometimes following the trends, yeah, that will give you the numbers, that will give you the vanity metrics. But at the same time, you're building the wrong community. And one thing that I think is important
Mm,
is making sure that you're building the right community and building the
Mhm.
right community for you, because we all have our own audience. So even if you look in the comments, for the most part, the comments in the convos for the culture section are always, we might agree, we might disagree, but it's, for the most part, it's respectful. Why? Because I didn't follow those trends. I stay true to the brand identity of what Convos is, and it's to uplift our community and uplift the culture, right? And try to push us forward in a more positive light. So yeah, we, and you have them outliers who come and say something crazy and then they get packed up, right? But for the most part, everybody's respectful. We don't create a culture where I post something of, let's say, Zaya Wade, and then everybody's gonna start dead naming her and talking about, they're forcing it on, like, that's not the vibe over here. So like,
Mhm.
trends, it's easy though, like, because especially when we look at numbers and vanity metrics and all of this, it's easier to be like, oh, I gotta do this over here so I can blow up. But at the end of the day, I can go to sleep happy knowing that I'm not compromising my own personal values and my own personal, like, moral compass just to get some numbers, whatever, whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
I believe if you build steady and if you build slow and you build the right way, you're going to build exactly what you need to build.
But do you think that, like, knowing your audience and, like, our people, it's like, Black people, queer people, all that, we know what gets them going. Do you think that there's the ability to be polarizing without being problematic, to still kind of like incentivize your community to get the reactions that you want? Like, you can still have, you
Oh
can,
yeah, we do that still.
okay.
Yeah, we still don't get me wrong. It's not like this. Our platform is not, whatever, like ho- super duper holy and positive, but
Uh-huh.
it is a way that you do it, because I feel, and I've said this and I'll say it, I feel like Hollywood Unlocked and the Neighborhood Talk are extremely, extremely, extremely problematic, but
Extreme.
especially they're homophobic and transphobic, which bothers me because
They're
both,
ran by the gays.
but they're, because they're
Yes.
ran by, yes, and so that's the type of
You
stuff
would
that
never
I'm
know.
saying that you would never know though, and that's the stuff that I'm talking about. That's what I won't do. I feel like you can post this stuff, but the way they do it, so for instance, it's all about the headline. Like, creative headlines are a real thing, so they'll do little things, right, that kind of activates their audience and their fan base, and they'll be like, Zaya Wade at the Grammys with Dwayne and Gabrielle, and then they'll be like, oop, Zaya Wade popped out in her new heels and her dress, right? They know for a fact what's
You
going
pop
to
out
happen
in your
when they
new
do
heels
that.
and your dress.
You
They're
say what?
automatically wrong.
You feel like it's a
Yeah,
setup?
it's always a setup.
Oh, absolutely.
Anytime they post Zaya,
Definitely
it's a
clickbait.
setup.
Definitely.
When you
Definitely
read the
clickbait.
comments, you can tell what it is. I have
But
to
we
get
have to
myself
leave the
out of
kids out of it.
Yes.
Because the
That's why I
kids
can't.
are
I've
That's
never
why I can't
posted
go on
her
Facebook.
ever.
yeah.
I don't post children. Like, that's one. I have different
Yeah.
things that I won't post, and
Hmm.
I don't post her just because. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's
I
It's
not
an
a
know.
adult
slave.
platform.
Yeah,
Don't,
she's not
don't,
an adult, so like,
right.
Right.
it's weird.
Well, like, what do you? Well, so okay, yeah, she's not a slave. She's not a double. How do we feel about the parents pushing this on the kids? Like, where's the responsibility?
Wait. So you feel, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be
Conversation.
good. No, so you feel that they're push. You feel like Dwayne and Gabby are pushing this on Zaya.
I feel like if my parents, combined were worth hundreds of millions of dollars, why you got me ass hatting at the damn fucking Milan fashion? Why I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I don't have to, like, get on
What
medication.
if she's into
Like,
wait,
What
hold
if
on.
you
But what if
want
she's,
to?
yeah? What if she wants to be into fashion?
then let me do the fashion. Then talk about my fashion. Talk about me on the shows. I just don't think that it is responsible to make a 14-year-old uh, the advocate and the spokesperson for a transition that they are still in. You don't
What
have all
if
the answers.
what if
Yeah,
she wants? What if she's advocating for
yeah,
herself though?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
what you're saying is you don't want her. You don't think that it's responsible for the parents to have her go through the trials and tribulations of being a poster child for something so controversial. However,
Mhm.
what if that is the battle that she chose? Would you
Well,
stop?
it,
Would it be
Would you
responsible to
especially
stop
stop
them and
her?
say, "No, we don't want you to fight this battle"?
And they may have. They
no,
may
for
have said,
me
you know,
as
we
a
worry
parent,
about you.
yeah, me as a parent, absolutely. I mean, I have young girlfriends, like, I'm in my 20s. I have younger girlfriends who are transitioning and they're in their early 20s. And I'm still like, take your moms. You know what I'm saying? For a year in silence. Nobody has to know. You don't need somebody to be clocking you every step of your transition or like calling you out and, oh well, this is what you have to do. Oh well, that's why they're clocking you, or this you're not really socialized with women, you're socialized with the gays, and you're acting like a gay man. It's like all of these different things that I feel like you shouldn't have to deal with, especially when I'm rich.
Public.
I'm rich and I'm fabulous and I live behind the gates. And for real, like, you people would never ever be able to talk to me ever in life because you literally have not been in my neighborhood. You can't get behind the gates. I'm in the hidden hills. Hidden. But y'all would have put me on the internet and opened me up to all of these things. That's not fair.
But I gotta push back because I don't know if that's
Yeah.
you're pushing that narrative. I don't know if she's 14 years old, so I don't know if that's something that, like, who's to say that this is who I am, this is who I want to be. I'm living out of my expression. I think it
Mhm.
only becomes this cloudy and murky because she's transitioning. If this was just a regular kid doing their thing on social media, fighting for whatever cause they want to fight for, nobody would have anything to say. But because it's a trans girl doing it, it's like, oh, they're forcing it down her throat. They're forcing her to do this. They're making her do this. So then the question becomes,
It's just a personal thing. I wouldn't do it, but I think she's brilliant. I think she's really strong, and I love like
mhm.
that she is standing on something, and especially standing up for herself. But personally, I'm not doing that. I don't have to do that. I don't have to go back and forth with you people. I don't have to work a day in my life. I don't have to do shit, but be me, and I can afford to be me in real time.
But I think she's doing it for those that can't, right? Because not everybody
Mhm.
is able to be behind the gate. Not everybody is able to be protected that in the way that
Right.
she is, right? Because she could say wouldn't do, like you said, whatever, because she's her. Not everybody can, right? And not everybody can
Mhm.
hide when they're going through their transition. People have to go to work. People have to live everyday lives. They have to do stuff
Right.
where people see them. I mean, my first, and I'll take it back to 20, we won't go say what year, but I was working at a bank and a trans woman came in and I had to think before I spoke because it was obvious. You know what I mean? It was super obvious. And I'm like, may I see your ID? And they gave me the ID and I had to be compassionate because I could have legally been like, nah, but I had to think compassionately, and I was holding discretion for her because I didn't
Mhm.
like, let me get my manager to come verify. You know, I didn't do all that. I was just like, if you, I see it, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But like, she ain't got to do that though. You know what I'm saying? So I think the thing that we forget, and what I was gonna say is like, we gotta remember social media. Our first encounter with social media was it was a toy, right? Social media was all fun and games. It was a toy. And so people's encounter with social media is that it's like you just said, it's an illusion, it's imaginary. They can say whatever, they can talk to people how whatever, but what happens is now we have to switch to representation, right? Representation matters. So the more you see of something, the more you understand that it exists, right? Because there are people that have never seen trans people. There are people that have never been around gay people, don't know how to interact, don't know who we are, don't know that your mannerisms, his mannerisms are not mine, that we aren't all the same. You know what I mean? In the way that we present, people don't know that. And when they go on social media is that window, right? To all of that. They see it all. So to have somebody that is 14 that is being themselves and showing how they present allows somebody else that is not behind the gate, but to be able to look through that window and see themselves and be like, you know what? maybe I'm not doing exactly what she's doing because I can't afford to, but I can be a little bit of myself today. I could be a little bit more of myself tomorrow. So just on that, that's what I think about that. Now, as far as her being forced to do it or told to do it or her parents having her do it, we don't know, right? So we can't say if they're having her do it or she's choosing to do it. I wouldn't think that anybody would choose that. I wouldn't choose it, right? But if she's has a heart for social justice and she wants to, and she has a heart for trans women and the struggle that they go through and representation, and because she does have the money and the protection, right, and the fence that she don't have to be in front of, she can do it.
Yeah. And with that being said, y'all, like I love how nuanced our community is. And I feel like even with creativity, you see how we indulge in other things that impact us
Oliver.
outside of creativity, period.
Mhm.
But yeah, so with that being
Yeah,
said,
that's
y'all,
three. That's three already for the season.
Three for
okay,
the
right?
season. You said it twice
Okay.
last episode.
Nuance.
Yeah,
We said twice in the last episode.
You know, I had to break it through. And with that being said, everybody, this is the Black Gay Agenda, and we will catch y'all right after this. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Black Gay Agenda, the creative agenda, where we've been diving into topics about, us being as creatives and whether it's through fashion or through social media, and while also still being our authentic selves. So with that being said, Slayter, like, and for the rest of you all, where do you get your inspiration from, specifically with your brand? Because I feel like with your brand, you always know what the people want, but I feel like there's still some sort of inspiration that comes from there. So give us the tea, please.
So for me, it's like I really enjoy nightlife. I love the club. Like I love the after. It's my favorite place on the world. I like black gay cities, and like I don't like the club for like the club. I like the club for the kiki in the bathroom. Like go in the bathroom, meet a stranger, drunk, can't stand up. Like, girl, you are amazing. Fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be great.
Right.
I
I was
like the
about to
let
say,
out.
what you doing in the bathroom?
I was waiting.
I'm chatting. Okay. I like that. I like the let out. I like the pregame. And like I feel like the club is community. Everybody's gonna go to the club. You could be the CEO, you could not have a job, you could be a sex
Mhm.
worker, everybody's going, you could be the teacher. We all gonna commune for that cocktail and for a good old gay fashion time. And that is where I get my inspiration from. And it's just it's a freedom. I
I
loved
love
it.
that.
Do you guys remember the first time that you went to the gay club? Like
Oh
how old
my gosh.
was your experience?
Yes. Yes. I was like 18, actually. I was fresh 18, hot, young, and ready, like Little Caesars. And
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Little Caesars. I'm gonna start
So
calling you
like
Little. I'm gonna change your name on my phone to Little
Little
Caesars.
Caesars, okay. But no, I resonate with that heavily. And honestly, like it's just very fun. And to freedom.
Yes.
The club is so fun. Yeah, it's fun. Outside is fun,
Mhm.
Yes, outside.
especially when you have moments, right? There's just certain moments that just like when Sexy Red comes on in the club, right? It doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter like who's next to, if you know the nigga next to you or you don't know the nigga next to you. Y'all are all gonna be bow, 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 bow together.
It's that booty,
It brings the
baby.
people together. That's that booty,
Even if you
baby.
don't like her or the music, because I know
Yes.
I'm not a fan. However, in the environment, you just with it because that's
Yeah.
what's going on. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I
So
like that.
what do y'all source of inspiration come from? Behind what y'all do, and even being here with the with the Black Agenda, the Black Gay Agenda. I'm sorry.
My inspirations, man. So and just in this space, in the podcasting space,
Mhm.
although he's super, super duper 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 duper, that's enough dupers, problematic, the work that I've watched, like I've studied people like Charlemagne to a T and what they've done on their Breakfast Club. Say what you want, but most black talking heads are doing what they're doing, especially in a podcasting space. They're doing what they're doing because of what Charlemagne, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee did, right? Although, although it's mostly been like Charlemagne because he's been the one with the the hot takes. He's been the one with the shit that goes viral. So like the Breakfast Club was a huge inspiration for me. Watching people like Angie Martinez, who's like, she's not messy, none of that, but like when it comes to interviewing, because I'll sit and watch certain interviewers. Like I do my like whenever if I know I got an interview coming up, I'm like, all right, let me look at different interviewing styles because there's different interviewing styles. And like people like Angie Martinez, fucking legend, right? Of just a fucking legend. And even though he's the messiest queen on the internet, I would be remiss. I would be remiss not to like mention Jason Lee because how Jason Lee like really shifted the culture with Hollywood Unlocked, and then how like he's got I don't know he did something right because he's in the White House. He's sitting here having Rihanna text him her baby pictures and be like, "Push this out for me." He's like week ahead. I'm not a fan of Jason Lee. However, you cannot be a fan of somebody and still give them their accolades, right? I cannot be a fan of Nicki and still say that she's the fucking GOAT or she's one of the greatest rappers, right? I can do that. So you can be a fan of some. I mean, you could not be a fan of somebody and still be like, what they've done, what they've built over here is inspirational. What they've built over here is inspiring. So yeah, I have a list of people though who I can go back to. I used to like growing up. I used to like stay up late and watch the fucking Tonight Show, right? Why? Because I like the interviews. I like the conversation. I've always been a conversationalist and watching Jay Leno just interview people, watching the Late Show with Dave Letterman, just watching people like interview people. I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. So like that would be like, so now I'm just in a space now that I'll take a day, one of my days off. I'll just be watching different interviews, whether it's the Pivot podcast, whether it's Carmelo Anthony's podcast, whether it's Angie Martinez, whether it's even people like Funny Marco. Like there's a science into the interview style, you feel me, that he does, because not everybody gets sarcasm, not everybody gets satire. So yeah, that's where really in this space of like media, that's what I'm doing. That's where I'm at right now. But definitely the Breakfast Club, I would say, is one of my biggest influences. Angie Martinez, fucking, she's a legend. I love her. If I ever met her, I would cry. Ooh, somebody's hotline blinking.
I don't know how to turn that off on my computer. I don't know. But okay, so also all those people that you named and everything, we gotta talk about the queen of all media, Wendy Williams. She is at the DNA and at the precipice of everything and all, and like how we consume media in a way that like Kim Kardashian is at the start of how we show one moment how we show up on the internet.
Yeah, definitely Wendy. Wendy she's the icon. She's the legend. She's the moment. Like for real. But I mean, even like Charlemagne is a Wendy kid. Jason Lee, a Wendy kid. So yes, we would be remiss not to. We can't forget about Wendy because. And everybody's like, oh, messy this, messy that, messy that. And I said, I remember when that Lifetime special came out, and everybody was like, oh, which was disgusting. People were like, oh, everything that's happening to her is like karma. I'm like, no, Wendy got paid to do what you niggas do online every single day for free. I see you in the Hollywood Unlocked comments talking shit. I see you in the neighborhood talking shit, shade room talking shit, spiritual world talking shit. Y'all do the same exact things for free. So to say that this woman
is crazy.
like
Indian, that's
to say that this woman deserves to be going through what she's going through now because she got paid to talk shit like y'all do for free is wild to me.
Yeah.
Wendy Williams, regardless of what you think about, and has she always got it right? No, absolutely fucking not. But do any of us always get it right?
no.
No, no. There's been takes that I've had on this and takes that I've had on the combos, and I was like, I was wrong. I got into it with my good friend Lizzie 2 weeks ago on the show, and because she said that she felt like Justin Combs was probably doing the same shit as his dad was, and I'm like, you can't just put, allegations on people and we went head to head, toe to toe, no lie. 2 days later, it's like Justin Combs accused of SA. So we don't always get it right, and Wendy didn't always get it right, but you cannot take away from her being the template. You cannot take it away from she literally all of this shit. I feel like a lot of these podcasts, especially the ones that are like your big time influencers who do like your Don't Call Me White Girls who just do commentary, your Milagros, your Armand Wiggins, your Jason Lee's, your I'm so mad he got that job over at Fox Soul, but oh well. Your Tasha K's, right? Wendy Williams was the template for all of that.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I love that. And I love how I like the, from a fashion standpoint to the media standpoint, where that inspiration comes from. So that's beautiful. Alex, what about you?
For me, my inspiration is anybody that is authentically themselves, because I spent a lot of my life not authentically me. A lot of my youth, a lot of my adult years, authentically me. My first time being at a gay club, I was probably in my 30s. So, like, a lot of what inspires me and that drives me now is fuck them people. I'm me. And so that's really my inspiration. Whatever I want to do, whatever I feel like doing, if I feel like showing you that I'm doing it, I'm gonna show it. If you don't want to see me in my purple light with no shirt on, feeling sexy in my room, then unfollow me. Damn it. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that's just that. So anybody that is on a platform and they are really being authentically themselves, that is what inspires me, because it gives me, like, you know what I'm saying, the window, the light in the end of the tunnel, that I can be authentically me and be great at what I'm doing, and have people that see me and want to be authentically them, and can see themselves in me. You know what I mean? Like, so many people have come to me since doing this podcast, and I just had somebody the other day. It was like, I look online and I see you talking about this. I say, yeah, well, yeah. You knew me when I was talking about this to you. I'm talking about this to everybody. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, I think that's it. That's the factor for me. Like, even like I said, this podcast, other people that I've been around, even when you were just doing the lives and we was doing those conversations, like just being able to be on that live and just be me. Like, even some of the stuff, even my takes, everybody don't agree with me, and guess what?
Who gives a fuck?
So fucking
okay.
Real quick. I'm gonna pivot a little bit, Justin, from the script. Because something that you talked about, Alex, was about showing up authentically, right? And I want to ask each of you, have you ever struggled with showing up authentically? And what pushed you past that where you could show up authentically? And I ask that because I believe a lot of people don't grow because they try to be somebody they're not, or try to hide different I guess different areas about themselves, or different parts of themselves. And one thing that I've learned personally is transparency goes a long way. So yeah, have y'all ever struggled with showing up authentically? And if so, how did you push past that to get to the point where you are today?
That is such a beautiful question, and honestly, I might get a little deep, but I did discuss this on the show before. So for me, I feel like one of my biggest struggles with me showing up authentically was my relationship with alcohol. Personally, I feel like for a long time I attach alcohol to like who my being. So I feel like if I wasn't confident enough, I have to take a shot, or I can't speak well, I'm gonna take a shot, or I feel like everyone's talking about me, let me take a shot so I could forget all about that. And it was a moment where I had to be radically honest with myself, and because I wasn't showing up authentically, that means I wasn't showing up for my friends the way I needed to. I wasn't showing up for my family the way I needed to, and I damn sure wasn't showing up for myself in the way I needed to because of this attachment that I had to this substance that ultimately led me down a interesting path for me. So I feel like once I was radically honest and I really sat down with myself and was like, damn, bitch, like you want to grow, but you still staying in the same space that's who you used to be. Baby, you're not there anymore. So in order for me to navigate the life the way I wanted to on my own terms, I had to make a decision that child, I really didn't want to, but I knew that like the best was yet to come because I've already seen the negative impact that it had on me from all my life ever since I was like 17. And then what last year, 25, I had that awakening. I had that aha moment for me. And within the last 10 months, shit, I'm actually 10 months sober, y'all.
That's
But
right.
uh, but with that being said, thank you, love. But with that being said, I feel like over the last 10 months, I've been able to, and it's been such a short period. However, I feel like I've been able to navigate life in a very fresh, in a very confident way than before. So I think for me, just letting go of that substance that had such a strong attachment to me and kind of like blurred who I really was to like stepping outside of myself, reflecting and having that radical, honest moment led me to navigating myself in an authentic way. And even being on the Black Gay Agenda is me showing up for myself, using my voice, me showing up for my community. So that's how I feel about that.
Love it.
Ooh.
Um, for me, I will just say is that people can read authenticity. People can feel when you're not being a 100. So for me, I think being a creative, especially in a digital space, right, that is highly important. To me, that's tied to your success. I think in a digital space, to me, there's two things: authenticity and consistency, right? To me, and those of you that are the experts at that y'all know, I'm sure y'all can agree. Those are the two things that drive your media, your brand, your authenticity and your creativity. And when you can be 99% yourself, but you still have to hold a line. You can't give your full opinion. You can't give your full emotion. Even it may seem small, like if you're leaving one thing out, but everything else. But you guys know how I feel. No, we don't know how you really feel because you're holding back a piece, right? You're holding back the piece that you think people are going to judge. You're holding back the piece that you don't want people to, see. You're holding back the piece that you're afraid of, right? So like that is huge when it comes to being a creative because it's reflective in your art. Because how can you give your all to your art when you're hiding the full picture? If you're a painter and you're trying to put you in your art, it ain't gonna never be there until you put it all out there. Then they will see your full picture and then you'll be successful. So that's how I feel like I've always been that way. Like, and it also, I'm sorry, and it also affects your confidence and your being subconscious about how you're presenting. Because how can you be free in your art dancing? How can you be free as a dancer when you're not being authentic with who you are and you're trying to cover something or hide a part of you?
That's
You know,
real.
pull your shirt down so your
Yes.
stomach don't show if that's what you're scared of.
Uh,
I have psoriasis. If I'm unsure, I'm having my arms because I don't want y'all to see my skin. How am I dancing? I'm going like this. It ain't gonna
Hmm.
happen. You know what I'm
it
saying?
ain't.
That's good.
Yeah.
Slater?
No, no.
No,
I said
never.
no, never.
So
Like,
you've always been just this, hey, I'm Slater. Like you've always been this just
yeah.
boom in your face.
But I feel like that also just has like a lot to it, like my upbringing. Like that, I'm everybody's favorite. I everybody everywhere I go, I'm everybody's favorite, and like I set the tone. I'm gonna tell you how you're gonna treat me. Like you don't get to decide, or we're not figuring it out. Like it's not that with me. I didn't have to like come out. I've been gay my whole life, and I'm comfortable everywhere. I also like everybody doesn't have that experience, so I had to go out of my way, like for people who I feel like are maybe struggling with it, or like my friends who may not be the most confident. Like, we're gonna get you up out of there. We're gonna push you. Like, you gonna get in the field if you fucking with me. Like, it's not like
Not you gonna get
it's
in the
not easy.
field.
Yeah, you're not just gonna be like, oh yeah, and da 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 da. You know, you're gonna have to work on some shit. And then like even sometimes with me, like there's some things that I could work on. Make sometimes maybe my delivery could be like a lot a bit harsh if I feel like we all playing on the same kind of level. So I'm talking to y'all, and everybody doesn't receive that all the time. But no, I didn't have that, and I don't have
That's
that.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Mm. Sorry, Justin. I had to steer away because that was a good. That's something good that you just brought up, Alex. And I wanted to tap into that because I feel like a lot of people do have a thing, and it's not even. Sometimes it's not even the sexuality thing. You feel me? Some people be like, "Oh, I have a nervous tick,"
Mhm.
or "Oh, I stutter at times." Oh, I look 10 pounds heavier today. I don't want to, I don't want to show up. Like we all at times could be our um worst critic. But one thing that I've learned is a lot of the shit that you think people notice, they really don't notice. They really don't give a fuck. They're looking for people get online, they're wanting to get content. They don't know that you freaking whatever, 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 right? They don't know that you got a pimple, right? Show up anyways. They don't notice that you gained 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks. Show up anyways. They don't know that you have a slight stutter when you get nervous. Show up anyways. So, like, I think that's one thing that we got to learn is just everybody got something. And the thing that you're trying to hide a lot of times is the thing that so many others can find inspiration in. It's the thing that so many others can be like, oh my God, I want to create because this person creates, right? I look at like some people don't care for her, but like I look at Winnie Harlow. Winnie Harlow blew up because she embraced the thing that most people would try to hide, which is her vitiligo,
Mhm.
right? And that's the thing that's propelled her into new heights that she may or may not have gotten had she not had that. So I think a lot of times the things that we try to hide, the things that we try to cover up, the things that keep us from showing up is the things that are going to get us to that next level as creatives. Embrace that shit. Embrace
And
that shit because people love authenticity. That word
Mhm.
be holding me in a chokehold, but
Mhm.
people love it. People love
It's so it's
transparency.
so it's okay, baby. You can say it slow.
Authenticity.
and I also feel like just as creators, we have to know like all that we need is all that we have, and all that we have is all that we need. And like
Say that again for the people in the
all
back.
that we need is all that we have, and all that we have is all that we need. And the breakthrough comes from the scarcity, actually. It doesn't come from like the abundance and the resources. Like
Hmm.
real creativity comes from like, yeah, bitch, I got $30. We finna go out. Let's go to the hair store. We're gonna get these clothes. We're gonna dye it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna cut the jeans this way, and we're gonna make a thing. But yeah, all your answers are inside, and you don't need any more than what you have. You have all of the answers. It was already written. Just like align yourself so you can really carry on these bitches like how you supposed to.
Period. I love that.
Y'all ate that up, and I got so many quotes here from if you go get in the field, you gotta fuck with me. uh, how you hide your art, expecting people to see the bigger picture. and then show up anyways. And it's really, first of all, I romanticize life, y'all. So I feel like each of these things are so beautiful, but also like so real. And each of y'all like really possess true confidence because that's what I hear. Just from each of y'all had different perspectives, but it was the same theme: operating in true confidence and authenticity. So that was beautiful, y'all. That was real beautiful.
I was about to do the same thing. Like you want to clap, but you want to give a
Okay.
And I love
So
the
with the
romanticizing life.
yes, everything is beautiful. You got to when you see
yeah.
everything bigger than what it's supposed to be. Like everything in life is such a big deal.
And just being super deluded. Like everyone loves me. Everyone
Yeah.
put it out there. It's gonna like put it out there in the fields. Like quantum leap is to happen. You bitches are going to get it one of these days. But I get it, and that's what's most important. I'm the center of my universe. I only live in my
Mhm.
world, so everyone loves me.
I love that.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone loves me.
I love that too. And with that being said, y'all, this is our world, and y'all just in it. So we'll be right back after break. Hey y'all, welcome back to it's that time of the night, y'all. It's the agenda moving forward. And we had such a dynamic conversation today, just from navigating authenticity with creativity, learning about Slayter's journey with fashion and Very Butch, to all of our endeavors from a creative fashion and social media perspective. However, this portion is for the individuals who are listening and just kind of changing the narrative on how we could proceed going forward. So, with that being said, y'all, what advice you would give to a younger version of yourself who so happen to be listening to this podcast when it comes to showcasing themselves on social media while being authentic?
so because mine's gonna be real brief. For a younger version of myself, I would say be yourself now. That's it. Be you now. Because all of my creative, all of me, all of my energy, all of my love, all of my strength, all of my intellect, all of my flaws, all of who I am, um, would have made me into who I wanted to be sooner. So I
Mhm.
think be yourself now. Don't wait for
That's
nobody.
Period.
I love, 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 love. Be who you are.
For your mind.
Oh, I like that. If I could piggyback off of that, that's what we were saying on Clubhouse in 2020, 2021 to piggyback off of that.
Mm,
Um,
that's another
Clubhouse
band phrase, piggyback or word.
piggyback.
Piggyback. Like
So
you know what
yeah.
you mean.
But for real, to piggyback off of what you said, yes, be who you are. I think my advice to my younger self would definitely be fuck them people. I know that sounds jarring, right? But for real, fuck them
Oh,
people.
that's real
There was a
though.
time, like with my upbringing, everybody who listens to the show knows, everybody who listens to Convos knows I'm a PK. So like my upbringing, it was all about do things the right way, blah 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 blah. So there was even times like even with like how I show with my gym and fitness content, right? For the longest time, you wouldn't see me post myself online without a shirt, right? Because that's not appropriate, right? It's
Not
not.
ladylike.
It's not like it's not modest. You're not, you're not being modest. Like these are all things that like for the longest time I wouldn't do. I would People knew I was gay, but at the same time I wasn't like the face of hey, we talking about gay shit over here. You feel me? Because I, for a while, I was like, oh, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want this,
Mhm.
that. Just like so focused on what people would think, what people would say. Like a couple of years back ago, 4 or 5 years ago, you would have never gotten this podcast here, the Black Gay Agenda. Hell to the fuck no, because one, yes, I'm gay, but at the same time, I was like, I don't want to be the face of this, right? I don't want to be like a gay voice or a LGBTQ, whatever, whatever, whatever. But then I just came to a point where I was just like, fuck them people. Because at the end of the day, fuck them people. Why? Because those people aren't paying your bills. Those people, they're not in relationship with you. Most of the people who you're worried about, they don't even fucking know you for real. And if we're being honest, you don't want to know them type of people for real either. So yeah, definitely fuck them people, because I think the sooner you get to the point that you can embrace that mentality, the more you'll show up authentically. The more you'll show up not worrying about what other people say. The more you show up not worrying about taking risks. There's so many
Mhm.
people who are stuck in their current cities because they're worried about what their family will say, what their friends will
Mhm.
say. Like, oh, you're just gonna move to New York without a plan? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Fuck them people. I am, because I'm chasing a dream. I'm chasing a goal. So I think that's
Mhm.
would be my number one advice to my younger self.
Period.
Okay. Um, I used to say this like at the end of my vlogs. I used to be like, you gotta first find yourself in order to be yourself, and it's an everyday process to then remain yourself. But for me, to my younger self, I would have, I would say, like, just be serious. Like, hit it when it's hot, and it's
Mm,
more important. What's more important is like what it actually is, as opposed to what it looks like. Because I now vlog, so like I know how to curate the moment. I know how to work a set. My life doesn't take a lot of money. I can make it appear as if it is way more glamorous than it is. And I believe in a life hack. I got a lot of
Mhm.
life, but like it's just more important, like what it actually is than what it looks like. And just be serious and like press play, because these bitches not gonna do it. You got
Mhm.
the I and the T, and you need to do it, because now you got other girls that they coming up and they're not it, but you didn't do the it, so there's nothing to like compare it to. So like they've sold it, and now you're selling what's authentic and what's real and what like is powerful, but they think that this is what it is. So like
Mhm.
just press the play, like go. Stop being pussy.
Period.
You know, like do the thing. Do the thing.
Yeah,
do
Yeah.
it.
that was beautiful.
Thank you.
You're such a poetic speaker.
Oh,
I don't know if you get that.
shut the
Like you're
fuck
very
up.
no, you're very poetic. And you have a way with words, and honestly, I admire that a lot. And it kind of helps you go segue into like my younger self. You
Hmm.
know, if I could tell my younger self anything, I would tell him that bitch, you're not crazy, and you're uniquely made. And on top of that, speak up. You don't have to be passive. You don't have to be
Mm,
agreeable. You don't have to be likable. You can speak up and show up as whoever you want to be and still be yourself, because those that love you are always going to be around you, and they're going to always appreciate you, and they're going to always value you. So yeah, just keep it short, simple, and sweet. That's what I would tell my younger self.
Yeah.
Period. So
Okay.
honestly, I don't.
I need,
It's
wait,
sad. I
hold
don't.
on, hold on, hold on. I need y'all to send me y'all stuff. I gotta get y'all some Very Butch. I need to see y'all in the shit.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, I got the call a little
please.
late, so I couldn't, I had sent my homeboy a little something because he's such a devoted customer. He be supporting the bitch. So I want
You
to
know
see.
what we need to do? We need to have a conversation about seeing where the Black Gay Agenda and Very Bush, where we can align, maybe an official sponsor type situation. You know, we do some host read ads every week. We'll, you could be, huh?
What's that?
Child,
That's
a host read ad.
so
So
bad.
when we go to commercial break, you
We'll go for
know,
a break then.
Oh, okay.
Very Bush
Mhm.
would have a commercial spot. You
And
know,
I wear hat. I've had on a hat every episode too.
Yeah.
Could very well been very
so
good.
you
I
know
love it.
we'll have a conversation, Slider.
Mhm.
I'll make it go.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad it ain't me because the last time we recorded, mine was going crazy. I had fireworks and
Crazy though.
balloons and everything going on. I think it's both hands. Like if you do both, it'll do it
Okay.
or something.
The people listening do not care.
They do not.
Okay.
All right,
But
Justin.
no, it was Slater. Honestly, it was so wonderful having you on this episode.
I had
You
so
know,
much fun.
just being able to learn more about you and just like your impact that you're doing for our community, like it goes beyond fashion, it goes beyond creativity, it resonates to us as beings and us all being queer and also just being represented. So we thank you. We thank
I
Well,
just
you.
want to say this too, Slater. This is your first time on the show, but this technically is not your first time on the show. You had a viral tweet, right?
I have lots of them.
You had a viral tweet
What do you
last
want to
week
talk about, girl?
that we discussed last season, and I would be remiss if we didn't get a chance to talk to you actually about it.
Remiss
Um,
is actually the word that you need to cancel.
you don't like that word?
A lot. Now, what are
I
we
would be
talking about?
remiss.
Now, what are we talking about? Which tweet? No,
When you talked about the princess tweet, the infamous princess tweet about you
Oh, that
don't
was
feel like
you.
that was Slater. Yes, that was Slater.
I
So
don't
Oh,
feel like
You got
what?
Justin in trouble
You
with that
didn't
tweet.
do
'Cause
it.
when I read your tweet, I don't name names unless I don't like the
Just
person.
read me the tweet or tell me what the tweet
Oh,
was.
child, I would have to go back. But
You don't have to go back.
it was basically about I you had tweeted about like you don't feel like you should pay for anything because you're a princess and you
Yeah.
should be treated like a princess, and if
Live the
nobody if
moment.
yeah, live in the moment, and if they don't have a problem with if they have a problem with that, that's too bad because you're not lowering your standards for anybody. And there was a lot of like quoted tweets, and they were like, you're still a man, you should pay for your own stuff. You know, there was a lot of that. um can you talk to me about that tweet, and did it mean exactly what you tweeted?
What works for me works for me. Right?
Mm,
And so if it doesn't
Mhm.
work for you, it doesn't work for you.
right.
My world is not centered around men or romance. So whether it happens or not matters to me not. Like I really don't care.
Okay.
When I was growing up, it was never like, oh my God, I'm gonna get married. I always know I was gonna have my kid or my twins alone. I'm not interested in sharing that. I don't want to
Okay.
do that. Like the dating thing is interesting, but like the men aren't. So like what they are really good for,
Experiences.
yeah,
That's what the word was. The word of the day.
experiences. And like
Right.
the hole in the pole. I love to fuck. And that's all that some of these men can offer me. And also, that's sometimes all that I can offer to them. Let's
Mm,
have the experience.
mm,
Now that's
okay.
Let's fall in love
accountability.
for the
yes,
weekend.
Yeah.
yes.
It wasn't like a, oh well, I'm the princess and I'm the queen. No, bitch, I'm allowing you to be the king. Ain't that what you want to do? Do
Okay.
it.
Mm,
If you're gonna do
mm.
it. How? But like, let's be clear. I'm not the girl. The girl, right? Because y'all think you're a man now, bitch. I'm a girl. I'm just a girl. And I'm not the girl that's gonna be paying for anything. I'm not opening the doors for you. Like I'm just not doing that because it's just not in my nature and it's not something that I
Mm.
want to do. And I'm really big on like self-advocacy and like speaking up for yourself and knowing what it is that you want to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to, I'm not having a 50-50 conversation with you. Like if you're not
Mm.
gonna like try to tear me the fuck down because you're trying to convince me. I'm not a bitch that needs convincing.
Oh, I'm so glad this is being said
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is
Like, I don't need like a pot and a spot and a squat and all these things. I got that. Sometimes I need a long, hard nap. And that's it. And, and, and and
That's
also like
crazy.
say what you're saying and ask for what you need. You see, because y'all want to fuck. That's cool. I want to too. But see, I don't need to fuck. That's y'all need to fuck. I don't have to do that. I need carbone. I need to go to Miami this weekend.
Mm.
And the byproduct of that is, which I'm going to carry. But I'm also probably never going to talk to you again. But I know that I know me, and I know I'm still a nigga, right? I'm the girl, but I'm still a nigga, and I know that I ain't shit most of the time. So
Okay.
I don't want to lead anyone on to this idea that yeah, girl, we did it fall in love, we did it because we're not.
mm.
Everything has to make sense, and if it doesn't, I'm okay.
One more question, one follow up. So, is there ever a scenario? Is there ever a predicament? Is there ever a time in this world that you would take a man out,
A
or is
time.
it always
I'm gonna take you
they
out when I
have
come
to
to
take you out?
Chicago.
You said what?
I'm gonna take you out when I come to Chicago. That's it. That's all.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Just to continue your work.
Oh my.
I was gonna say one thing
Yeah.
after the
uh,
thing was saying I would just say it's good actually to have you because we've all seen the product, but you know, not many of us got the chance to know who you were behind the Very Butch, you know, brand. Like
Yes.
I've seen the hats, we've seen it, so it's dope to like interact with you and and like get to talk with you and get to see who you are behind the brand. And
Thank you. It's like
Mhm.
I am a really wild bitch. Like I'm very chaotic. Like that's a reason why I wanted to create a brand that was not so personal because I don't need you to like me or hate me. I don't want to get this shit. But it is about just being like radically gay and like radically
Mhm.
visible and saying the things that you really mean and standing on it because everything is not about like respectability or like being politically correct and navigating this life like how you want to and not taking no for an answer.
Right.
So yeah,
That was really well said.
yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. We got to some things with that episode, and just even with like your tweet, and just even hearing your thoughts face to face, and being able to understand the context of that, it makes perfect sense. It made perfect sense. But I agree with you. Like we're all niggas at the end of the day. But at the same time, if this is what I want and this is what I can get, that's just what it is. Like I don't.
Yeah, and these
I'm not hurting
niggas
nobody. Right? Like I'm not hurting nobody.
listen,
And
these niggas do not. Oh, sorry. Continue.
no, no. It was. Now I want to say the last thing. This last thing. It was funny because it got to a point where it was like, just we want you to ask somebody out on a date. Have I done it yet? No. But will I do it this year? Possibly.
Do you want
So
to?
I really
Do you
don't. Like
want to? So don't. So don't. So don't. Stop, don't switch up.
no, wait, no,
Don't switch up.
back it up,
No, no, no,
back
no,
it
no.
up. No,
I,
no,
The
no.
men will want you to be
Because you're
the man. They want you to become the man that they want. Bitch, fuck that.
and
No.
I'm still a nigga. I still own my masculinity and my femininity. However,
the
when I
context is
navigate
different though.
when I
Okay, so
Because
you
when
what you
because
gotta
you ain't saying what you said. You said fuck these niggas. Justin is saying I want love and I want the relationship and I want to be exactly. See how you said that? That's a whole different
It is a
world.
difference. It is a difference.
But here's the thing,
okay,
Justin. If that's what you want, you can get it. And also
Absolutely.
so like last year I said, you know, granted, I listened to the message from the universe the wrong way. I was like, I'm finna get married. Started hitting my niggas up, niggas with the money, I'm just do what I need. But it was like, no, the universe was really calling me to get married to this money, not these niggas. But if you want the romance and everything, that can definitely happen. And you just, make your list and not a long list. 5 things. Okay. You don't have to be uber specific, but like, well, you have to be specific, but you don't want a laundry list. It's like you want a provider. Okay, that's what you want, right? When you be taken care of, you want a considerate partner. You know what I'm saying? Looks to me don't matter. We can't procreate. So that's why when y'all see me with my bald head Nigerian when I turn 35, mind your fucking business. When you see me, you know the nigga got a lot of money, a lot of dick. You know that.
Not you, Portia.
yeah.
Well, I'm not doing it like her, bitch. I'm gonna do my research and really have it done.
You
But
gonna get the right Nigerian.
I'm a
uh,
listen, whatever he is, I don't care about looks.
mm,
I care about you taking care of me. I care about you fucking me properly and like considering me and respecting me and also letting me do my thing because I'm a young hot fly bitch and I don't care if I'm 70, I'm gonna still be that. And I need to be doing my thing and like know that my thing is not your thing. We're
Mm-hmm.
we go together, but like we're not a unit, and you get to move and do what you want to do. But keep it cute, because I will do whatever you do a lot bit better. So like, just be respectful.
Mm-hmm. Period.
Okay.
And on that
That's
note,
good. He cleared it up.
yeah, he
He
cleared
cleared
it
it
up.
up.
That you gave us everything that we needed to know. Like I said, it's my least favorite part of the night. But Slayter, once again, it was a pleasure having you on the Creative Agenda episode
Yeah.
2 of the Black Gay Agenda podcast. And before we go, let the people know where they can find us at, y'all. Micah.
Yeah. Excuse me. You can find me at It's Micah B on Twitter. It's Micah B on Instagram. It's Micah B on TikTok. And then make sure that you follow Black Gay Agenda. What is it? Black Gay Agenda Pod
Yeah.
on
Yes.
Instagram, and then Combos for the Culture on Instagram. Look, go in the bio. Go in the bio. Oh, not the bio, but go in the show descriptions and all of that, and you will be able to see everything that we got going on. We got some really dope interviews coming this month. The Good Times controversy of the news Good Times series has been going on. It's a cartoon on Netflix. It premieres in April, and I have an exclusive interview with one of the cast members for that. It's going to be over on Combos for the Culture, so make sure that you stay locked in with that.
Nice.
All right.
And for me, you can find me on Instagram, of course, at XanderT82. That's XANDERT82. Also, TikTok, I'm at the same place. So if y'all want to find me there.
Okay, well, you can find Very Butch at verybutch.com and use code agenda for 30% off.
30% off.
Yes, girl, 30% off for the whole season, but don't tell nobody, because they're not. You gotta watch the whole episode. If you ain't watched the whole episode, bitch, it just ain't there.
You better come prepared.
Yes.
Website now.
Coach Slayter on all socials, CoachSlayter. And your Very Butch is very.butch on Instagram. But yeah, pull up.
And of course, you can find the baddest at Justin B. Smith on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, not on Twitter, but yes. That being said, y'all,
I had gave my Twitter
everybody
last
turned their
time.
head when he said
Yes.
that.
Right.
Twitter, everybody
I had gave my Twitter last time, but I had thought about that, and I'm like, maybe I regretted it. Let me not say it again. If they watch
on Twitter,
they got the Twitter.
What you be posting on Twitter?
I'll give it
we'll
to
talk
you.
about that. We'll talk about after. Okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
All right,
thanks again. You want to do it, or you want me to do it?
You can do it. I'm going to do the
All
action.
right. All right. Thanks again for tapping into another week, another episode of the Black Gay Agenda. Don't forget to grab your purses and clutch your pearls. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.